What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk about why I think the Squier Classic Vibe is the best Telecaster to buy and mod in 2021. So, this is going to be kind of fun. We did a video a week ago or so about doing 5 Telecaster mods that are under $100, and I walked into a store. Well, first of all, I got like a bunch of comments that were like, "Why do all you do is Telecaster videos?" And I was like, well, I made a bunch of Gibson videos, and then everybody thought I was a Gibson fanboy, so I figured I would make some Telecaster videos too. We're making another one. I walked into a music store the other day, and they had this brand new Classic Vibe Telecaster, and this is the 60s one. Who is that? Is that Jim Croce? No, wait, that's Seals and Crofts? No. Anyway, it's one of those dad bands. We're on the beach right now in Outer Banks, North Carolina. Classic Vibe, 60s. I think this is the best one. So when you're modding a Tele, there's a few things that you need to look at if it's something that you're going to do. So you could buy any Squier, right? Like you could buy any of the Bullet ones, are pretty cool. The Affinity ones are pretty cool. A lot of those guitars are cool, and they're actually super inexpensive, and you could do some stuff to them. The problem is that I like this guitar because it makes it easier to find parts, especially if you're going to do fun stuff. So if you think back to our other video, and we'll leave a link to it right up here, some of the mods that you would want to do to a Tele. Let's see, what were they? One of them was saddles and bridge stuff. So there are 2 kinds of Telecaster bridge, 2 main kinds. We're just going to say that. The modern kind that you would see on, let's see, like the American Ultra and some stuff like that. And there's also some Squiers that have the same thing, where it has 3 screws and the saddles are set way back, and the bridge is a completely different length. It's like way longer. This guitar has your proper vintage style Tele bridge, and it has the 3 saddles, which I know some people don't like that, but we'll get into it in a minute. The 3 saddles, but what's more important than the amount of saddles that it has is that it's nickel plated, so you could age it if you wanted to. It will age nicely if you want it to. Chrome doesn't do that very well. The other thing is that it has the vintage style spacing, the 4 screws, and so there's lots of replacement bridges for it, which is really kind of fun. The other thing that's cool is, remember we talked about it in our other video, the possibility of doing like a top loader situation. This bridge has top loader holes in it, so you could try top loader versus string through, which we made that video before, but we may do it again because we have the guitar to try it. All the nickel hardware will age, which is pretty cool. 3-way switch, volume tone, normal Tele stuff. And basically any replacement pickups, wiring, that kind of stuff will fit in here. It's basically a drop-in deal. Now, some of these Squiers have a little thing in here. When we go to mod this guitar, I'll show you what to look for. Our stuff usually fits in there. The other thing I like about it is just the materials that the guitar is made of. I can't remember what this body is. It's not ash. I'll put the name right here. It's some weird name, but it's really good. It basically feels and weighs and balances and just like ash. And you know, if you do a tap test, it sounds like a guitar. And the neck has the slim 60s taper, narrow tall frets, an actual bone nut if that's a thing that you're into. So all of this stuff is like legit Tele stuff at whatever this guitar costs. I think $479 at the time of making this video. The other thing is the tuners are your vintage style H pattern tuners. So some of these Squiers come with a cast tuner, which is fine, but they're hard to upgrade because they have these 2 little pins in them, and they're harder. There's less options. Let's just say that there's less options for 2-pin tuners, where with this stuff, if you wanted to upgrade them, even though I find that these are actually pretty decent, these safety post tuners, they're super easy. But Clusen, Goto, there's a whole bunch of people that make tuners that you can just drop right in without drilling extra holes in your guitar. So what we have is a fantastic bass for modding. Now, what if you just wanted to leave it alone and play it the way it is? There's a couple reasons why I'm personally not going to do that, and we're just going to jump straight into ripping this thing apart. Remember in our last video we talked about that stamped steel cup where the jack goes? This one, it's already wiggling around in there, so we're going to have to deal with that right away. We're going to put an electro socket in it, which I think is a way better option. So that needs to be done pretty much right away, in my opinion. Yeah, we could tighten it up, but I'm always going to fight it, so that's going to happen. The other thing is, and I'll show you this in specifically, that we are going to replace the controls in it, because I want to replace the pots and the switch and the jack, and all that stuff is all going to come out of it. I do not like, that's for longevity for a lot of reasons. We talked about that in the other video. The neck pickup in this guitar is basically unusable. It's terrible. The bridge pickup sounds like a Tele, but it's super weak. We're not going to do a sound comparison in this video because I'm not prepared to put the new pickups in it. When we do the pickup swap video, which will probably come maybe next week or the week after, it'll probably be the next video in this series, you will see and hear, and we'll do a comparison, so you don't have to jump through the internet right now. I'm just telling you that we will do that, but I'm not prepared to do a test right now. There's no point in showing you how much this thing sucks until we can show you how awesome it could be at the same time. I don't think I'm going to replace the tuners in it. There's no real reason to replace them. They work, they feel good, they tune properly, and everything seems to be fine with them. We're not going to replace the nut because it's a bone nut, but we will go through the guitar setup and make sure that that is cool. I think we're probably going to go ahead and get some saddles like we said in our last video, and I want to do some experiments. Let's get a couple of different materials. Maybe titanium, maybe aluminum, brass, a couple things. The cool thing with this bridge is we won't have to replace the whole bridge. We could just replace the saddles. So it'll be cheaper to mod. Pretty cool. This is a great guitar to start with. There's other Teles that you could buy, but you would spend a lot of money and then you would want to change them up. I think price point balanced with features, balanced with the ability to mod it very easily, and honestly, this Slim 60's neck is super sweet. It's a great guitar. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be something that is going to be fun. Of course, when we get done with it, I'll probably let somebody know, and one of you in the comments will end up buying it from me, because that's typically what we do. Basically, I buy a guitar, do a bunch of fun stuff to it, and then usually end up selling it to one of you. So if you're interested, shoot me an email and let me know, because this is going to be a fantastic guitar. So we'll get set up and get ready on this particular project. We've got another one. I actually bought a bass at the same time, which is really cool. I'm gonna do some Music Man stuff. So stay tuned. If you like guitar stuff, you gotta subscribe and you gotta hit the little bell, so make sure you don't miss the next couple videos in this series of building up this Tele and doing some tests and some fun stuff with it too, saddles wise, and maybe some string through versus top loader and anything else y'all might come up with that we could test and have fun with this particular guitar. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you in the next video.